Hey guys, so it is 9:48, December 31st, and I have finally calmed down. Um, Whenever I get emotional, it's hard for me to kind of bring myself back. The truth about grief is it's a bitch. Grief is a bitch. This bitch, let me tell you, is the worst bitch to deal with. And I say that because you never know when you're going to have a grief moment. At some point, you can be happy, and then the next minute, something puts you in a very emotional state. People don't tell you that losing a child, and maybe it's because they don't know how to describe it, but the loss of a child, and the loss of a child unexpectedly, not planned for, is horrible. Even when it's planned, even when you know, I'm sure it's horrible. But for me, it's been horrible. So how do I deal with grief? I cry. I cry a lot. I pray. I pray more than a lot. So much I ask God for. I try to keep myself busy. I don't surround myself with a lot of people because I feel like I kind of want to be private in my grief. I don't want to share that. And when I do share it, I want to share it to let people know that you're not alone. But for the most part, I want to go through this privately, to learn, to acknowledge, to grow. To acknowledge that God is who He say He is. To grow into a better me, even with the loss. And to acknowledge that it's part of the plan, it's part of the purpose, it's part of the journey. And as much as I would like to control, it's up to God. I have gotten back into painting. I haven't done that in a while. So I come in here, I paint. I come in here, I do my makeup. I do a lot of self-care. I love drinking teas and have a variety of teas, but I take pleasure in having moments now to myself. Sometimes I sit in the bathroom and drink my tea. Sometimes I'm in my bedroom drinking my tea. Sometimes I'm in here drinking my tea. Sometimes I'm out back drinking my tea. Tea drinking is so bad right now that my daughter says, "Oh, you're drinking more tea." It's calm, it's soothing, it gives me time to think and reflect and just have some peace. And I try not to think about what I'm going through, because I just want that moment where it's just me and God and quietness, just listening. try not to think. I rest a lot. I try to go to bed as early as I possibly can, even though when I can't sleep, I just lay in the bed. I lay there. Sometimes I don't do anything but lay there. Sometimes I look at YouTube videos. Sometimes I'm looking at pictures of my family and just putting my pictures on slideshow and just letting them go. Whatever pops up, whether it's a screenshot, I just look at my life. And sometimes I close my eyes and just hope that I fall back asleep. I deal with grief probably in the most non-traditional way. As an African American, I sought out therapy. And as a trained behavioral health practitioner, I knew and I recognized that I needed more than what I can give myself. And I wanted to get that from someone that I did not know, someone who did not know me. So I went to therapy. I've been going to therapy. I go to therapy every Tuesday. I went to therapy this morning. And in the new year, I will encourage all of my family and friends that are experiencing the loss to seek that out, because I think sometimes we internalize our problems, our concerns, our grief, our losses, our pain, our unsuccessful moments in life. We internalize that, and it drives us in the most endearing way that it silently kills us. And I didn't want my grief to silently kill me. I wanted my grief to be a testimony. So every Tuesday I go see my therapist, and sometimes I don't know what to talk about, and sometimes I just sit there. Today I had a lot to talk about. I talked about my life, things I want for Madison, and I just wanted to wake up and feel better. And I think it's important for people to get the help that they need. And I think that was one of the reasons why I became a social worker. I became a behavioral health practitioner, getting my PhD. I just wanted more. I wanted more for the people that I was working with. I wanted more for the families that I encountered, and I wanted more for my family. But in becoming a nurse, like I want to help people. I want to help people help themselves to become better people. And the same with me. And I think that throughout all my training, I know that I'm going to be a better person, but I do let the professionals do their job. And when I, as a professional, feel like I need to seek out that and get that validation and get that affirmation and get that understanding and get that clarity and to get that guidance and to get it just a listening ear from someone who doesn't know me, that's important. And I think as Black people, Black communities, we are taught to internalize and not talk about what we're going through. And yeah, I cry, and when my young daughter sees me cry, I don't lie to her and say, oh no, I don't know what story I can give her when it's clear that I've been crying But I want her to be okay with expressing her discontentment and her unhappiness, that it's okay to cry. And it's okay to be mad, and it's okay to experience all these emotions, the negative emotions. Like the other day when she says that she was sad, and I said, baby, it's okay to be sad. I'm sad too sometimes. But what makes me happy is knowing that we have each other. You know, I want her to understand and that it's okay to express her feelings, and I want her to express them in the right way. So, how do I deal with grief? Sometimes grief deals with me. Sometimes grief just takes me through this ride that I'm just not ready for. And at the end of the day, I know that God understands, having lost his son for us, so that one day I can see my girl again, so I could see Amber and I could dance with her and I can laugh with her. Like God did that for us, and he had to watch his son die, a physical human being on this earth, just as I had to do the same. So he understands, and I know that he comforts me even now. And he'll continue to comfort me, and he knows how to comfort me. And just like he's been able to rejoice and have his son back with him, I'll be able to rejoice one day and have Amber with me. Grief. It's not a cup of coffee. It's not a cup of tea. It's not a comedy show. It's not a happy ending. And this grief, losing a child is different. It's different from losing my mother. It's different from losing my brother, my grandparents. It's like I lost my entire existence. So some days when I don't know how to breathe, God gives me breath. So I don't try to dress up my grief, and I sure in hell don't try to hide it. And I want to feel every ounce of my grief. Even when I've gone to the doctor and I'm like, I need something. I need something to help me sleep. I need something to help lessen this anxiety. I don't take it because I don't want to become dependent on something superficial that's going to take me away from acknowledging what God has for me. Now, have I taken it? Yes. When I really, really need it. Do I take something every single day on a schedule? No. But I acknowledge that this is different. So as of December 31st, 2019, Amber's birthday, I acknowledge that grief has its own color for everyone, has its own definition, and can't no one walk you through that journey but you. And you take that walk with God. I don't know what else to say, but know, whomever is watching this, that if you're experiencing grief, the loss of a child, if no one understands you, I do. And you have to keep fighting. You have to keep praying. You have to keep moving, as difficult as it is. And some days you just don't know how, but you do. So, life is so different. So different. And I don't understand. And maybe I never understand. But I know that there's a sadness in me that I just cannot shake. There's nothing that you do or say that helps with this. One day at a time. So that's how I'm dealing with my grief. I lost everything, I feel like, on October 8th, 2019. And my family and my friends and my sorority sisters, people witnessed that. It's a moment in my life that I'll never forget. And having to physically say goodbye to her on the day of, and on October the 18th, are two of the hardest days of my life. So, when I think of her, I think of how happy she's been, how happy she made me. And I know that God would remember me, and He won't forget me, and that He'll bless me, even with my loss. And I know I have a lot to live for. And though I never understand, I look forward to walking in my purpose. Because He'll use me. God will use me. So, and to honor my daughter's life, I'll support other families through scholarships set up in her name, through my sorority, through Civitan Camp, and through ARC. I want families to have the same opportunities I did with Amber. So that's how I deal with grief. Giving back is important, and it makes me feel good to bless someone else. So, thank you. Thank you to the people who watch my videos, who know me, who have actually reached out, who I'm friends with on Facebook. Some of you guys I've made personal friends with and have telephone numbers, and you've texted and called, and it means a lot. So thank you. I'll forever honor my daughter's life. I'll honor her because I wouldn't be whoever the hell I am right now had it not been for her. She made me a better person. She kept me whole. She kept me honest. She kept me happy. So I honor her. And I never let anyone ever forget her. She was my angel on earth. And now she's my guardian angel. So, thank you. Continue to pray for me and my family, my youngest daughter. Because this is the hardest journey that we've been on, that I've been on.